And in recent months, horse DNA was found in what was supposed to be beef products.
This is what's most controversial. Every year, thousands of live horses are fresh, raw horse meat.
You question everything about yourself. Are you really making an impact? Are you really helping animals?
Every wonderful thing that has happened, every horrible thing that has happened, it started with one person.
All it takes is one person, and then another, and another, and another.
We're not doing this for us. We're doing it for them. The truth, it's about the horses. I'm a strong believer that one person can make a difference. Together, we can make a change.
This group of people are amazing people. They're super sweet. At the workshop, you could just tell how genuinely passionate they were about their organization and the animals they're helping. And it'll be really exciting to go to their facility today. It is raining.
Yeah, the day's starting off raining.
It's
cloud
raining.
Cover. It's super flat lighting. Such a stark difference to Peaceful Pastures Donkey Rescue, where it was hot and bright sun. And this is kind of actually a very nice relief from that. So
yeah, it'll be much cooler today. But there's been flood warnings we're dealing with.
They can't do their
from the National Weather Service. So we're gonna have a fun day. But the weather does look like it's gonna clear off in the afternoon. So hopefully we'll be able to get all the great footage we need to feature this amazing organization.
Absolutely, and I'm very confident we'll be able to get what we need. And we're almost there, so it'll be interesting to see what it's like.
Yeah, and this journey of going to as many organizations from the original group that came to the workshop has just really been amazing. At the workshop we were so busy with so many different organizations there, but now being able to take the time and get to know these organizations and
some of them, unfortunately, we can't go to all of them. We can't go
to all of them, but just strengthening this network across the United States that is a true safety net for horses. To get it within that day's drive of a horse within the United States is coming true and so desperately needed in the United States. Hello. Hi. Good to see you.
Oh, how are you?
Good.
You guys got to come. In the rain.
In the rain.
In the floods and the downpour.
Right. Yeah. Wow.
Well, it's Kansas.
That's
right.
Yeah.
You never
Welcome
know
to
from
Hope.
day to day.
Yeah, lots of rain.
Yes. Yeah.
Well, you have a beautiful facility here. I can't wait to see it all. It looks amazing.
My name is Andy Armstrong. I'm the president founder of Hope in the Valley Equine Rescue and Sanctuary. I happened to be at Hutch on a weekend. They were having one of their horse sales, and our farrier and I decided to just go over and see what it was like. We had never been there. And the minute we walked in, there was 200 or 300 horses there. Off to my left in a pen was one horse standing out in the middle of the pen, just standing there with his head down, and he was literally a skeleton, a walking skeleton. And was so weak he couldn't even pick his head up hardly. That made me very sad to see that. And we kept on walking around, looked at the other horses, and I kept coming back. I kept coming back looking at that guy, and I just finally said, you know what, I'm taking him home. He might die tomorrow at my house, but I'm not gonna let him get on that slaughter truck. His name was Jim. He was our first rescue, and he lived for 5 more years.
Well, we'd be delighted to take you on a tour. Unfortunately, Andy can't go with us. She's got some things she needs to do, but we'd be delighted to show you around.
Awesome. Well, we'll catch back up with you later, but hopefully we can see your place before it really cuts loose raining.
All right, off we go. Well, let's go this way, down toward the south pens.
The number that's going through the sale barns now has increased compared to what it used to be back in the 80s or even 20 years ago. But it's the same thought processes. No matter what sale barn I'd go to, I was seeing the same thing. So I knew there were a lot of numbers out there. We started the organization in 2005 is when we became incorporated and applied to be a 501c3. So we could help take care of these horses that need help.
Has the facility been at one location the entire time?
It has. It has. It's grown over the years, almost 20 years now. We've added, in fact, the last addition that we made was to these south pens, which were our smaller dry lot holding pens, and that was to add a 5th one for a group of mares who just came in.
Okay.
My name is Peggy Johnson, and I am an evaluator and care tech here. My days start out on the feed crew. We feed all of the horses and check for medical needs and so forth. And then I typically get through that by afternoon, and then I go out and either I'm doing evaluations on horses that are coming in or rehab work with horses that need hands-on saddle time, groundwork, and so forth.
So this is our arena. We have used it for barrel races, allow groups to come in and use the arena. We also use it obviously for our own horses, for saddle time, as well as some really basic confidence building. So that's why we have all the weave poles, the cavaletti bars set up, a little water feature, etc., trying to build the horse's confidence and allow the horse and the handler to work together. So just about 3 years ago, we were able to add the lights to the arena, so it is usable in the evenings as well. My name is Kelly Benton, and I am the development officer for Hope in the Valley. Daily, I come out in the mornings. I am a care tech, so I take care of the horses in the morning. I usually I am always partnered with someone. We do this in buddies, with buddies, so that it's as safe as possible. So I care for horses in the mornings, and then in the afternoons, I go home and do administrative work for the rescue. Social media, website, whatever needs to be done.
It's really nice to have an arena and that you can open up to the community. That's really, really nice, and a lot of training can happen in there. And training saves horses' lives.
Exactly.
Even if they end up in the slaughter pipeline, if they have training, they have a better chance of getting out.
We started bringing some of those horses home from the auctions, and eventually then their individuals heard that we were taking in horses. And that's how we started getting requests and calls for, could you take my horse? Can you take care of him? You know, he's really old, we don't know what to do. So we did. And we never refused hardly anybody. So we got a full house right now.
So this is a really good example of our south pens. As you can see, they run down to the tree line, and we use them as a smaller holding facility for horses who may have physical issues, breathing issues. They're older horses. They need to be fed a bit more often, twice a day as opposed to only once. In this case, this is where pen 1 here is where we normally keep our donkeys and ponies, that sort of thing. And they're tend to be the horses that need to just have that quieter environment than up in the main herd. So we're really fortunate to have them. We've got just enough horses in each one for feeding in the morning, so each has their own safe, quiet place to eat. And we're really lucky to have this space for us.
Now, this is really nice.
Since the workshop, there's been a new energy, at least for myself. And I think the other volunteers are starting to feed off of, and I'm not going to speak for Peggy, but I think she's a little more energized too. And the volunteers are starting to feed off of that.
Just with the information that these guys were able to bring back to us and some suggestions on things we can do and things that will only help us. I mean, it will help us, and if we can network and be in that network, everybody knows something more than the next guy does. And to be able to share that with everyone, that's a really great thing.
We were in many ways, frankly, a full circle of life shelter already. But I think I'd have to say we didn't know how to articulate that. And what we've learned is how to articulate it more clearly, and to help educate the public about what we do here and why we do it. Because, a lot of folks, it's surprising the folks that don't even know we exist right here in our own community. And that's, if we can get them to understand that we are a full circle of life organization and what that really means, and they can be proud of that, because we are. What we are really fortunate to have 2 big grain bins on the property. We bring in feed in bulk. So we use a senior feed that's created for us, blended for us by a local cooperative. We bring in 9,000 pounds of feed and divide it between our 2 pastures, main pasture areas. It saves us both financially, but also the quality of the feed that we get. We're really fortunate to be able to just buy the bulk and save some resources.
So how long does it last after delivery's been made?
It can last between 6 weeks and 8 weeks, depending on the time of the year and depending on the number of horses that we have to do, especially heavy feeding. So for example, this grain bin will hold 7,000 pounds, and we will go through it. Oftentimes we'll fill our supplementary bins and so forth from here. Volunteers will do that. So between 6 and 8 weeks.
When we got to the workshop, we realized that it was so easy for us to step into that. We just didn't have a label for it or a name for it. And now we do. And now that gives us focus that we can continue to grow and build on that full circle of life. We got great information. It re-energized us. But my favorite thing was meeting other folks in the same boat. I don't feel like we are so far off base as we thought we might have been. It's reaffirming to hear someone else say they've been going through the same things.
One of our biggest challenges right now with the organization is making sure that we have enough sustenance to maintain our care for these horses. We've had a severe drought this year. There's not going to be a lot of brome hay around. If there is any to buy, it's going to be very, very expensive for us. We get our grain delivered in bulk for us, which is helpful. Having it trucked in here is the most important and most expensive.
I think obviously this year is a particularly difficult year because it's a drought year. So we really do have to be mindful about hay and financially that part of it, which also is causing our adoption rate to slow down because people are a little less inclined to take horses home.
We are now in the process of dealing with the hay situation, and we will start posting on Facebook and trying to specifically fundraise for that. We used to say $50 would buy a bale of hay. It doesn't anymore, but every dollar helps. So our next big push is going to be for hay. We want to be sure that we've got in the budget for hay, but with the increase, that's where we're not covered, is the increase in hay this year.
So this is our quarantine area that we can bring in horses that we need to, for whatever reason, hold them. In this particular case, we're holding this mare and foal, not because they're necessarily in quarantine, but because it gives us a smaller space for us to handle them. A couple of years ago, we had a brand new wash station put in, which was a real treat for us. The horses are all still figuring all of that out, but what a nice thing not today, but what a nice thing to have a station outside where we can clean up horses when they come in and so on.
And then who's this guy?
Well, this is Turkey.
Hi, Turkey.
Turkey 1 or Turkey 2?
I don't know.
You trying to impress us?
Oh yes, this is Turkey 1.
Yes, the one that likes to be
because this is the one that likes to be petted.
Aww.
Yeah. Okay, Turkey. Have a good day.
He is very magnificent.
Did you come to say hello?
Keeping volunteers also engaged, that's another challenge that we face. How to take our volunteers and help them step forward into the organization.
Volunteers are hard to manage. They are volunteers. They don't have to be out here. They're giving you their free time, their spare time. Not that they don't want to, but a lot of times that time is limited. So to keep them connected when they're not out here often enough to know everything that's going on or know most of the things that are going on, it's difficult. So this is our barn where we house horses. We have a foaling stall. Obviously, he's not having a baby, but we do have a foaling stall for when we bring pregnant mares in and we need to monitor them and allow them to foal in a safe space. Then we have 2 additional stalls here in the event we have someone that has an injury that we need to take care of. Occasionally, we try not to, but occasionally we do end up with quarantine cases in here as well. And then we clearly mark and section off that side of the barn, and we do not use that side. We use the other side for regular daily chores.
So what's this guy in here for?
He's on stall rest because he's got an abscess in his right front foot. The farrier actually is going to come out and have a look. We'll unwrap and trim up what we need to and then rewrap the foot for him. Well, this horse came to us again through the SOSS program. They brought him to us. He's been with us probably about 7 months now. He's currently in the barn because he had an abscess in his foot, so he's on stall rest. Normally he would be down in one of the south pens. Ronnie Diamond, our farrier, has been with us since January, and what he brings to us is something absolutely unmatchable. Ronnie works with all of our challenge horses. Not that Beater's a challenge, he's not, but he works with our challenge horses, and he has a gift where a horse that is unable to lift its feet or unwilling to stand for farrier work, Ronnie has the patience of a man that you can't believe. He'll spend 2 hours in the round pen just helping that horse understand that he's safe. And so that is it's a tremendous gift, of course, with the rescue horses, because so many of them come with such fear on their previous experiences. So we are just so grateful for all the work that he does for us.
I've been a farrier for 30 years. I have 30 horses that I take care of out here for every 8 weeks. I love their mission out here. I've never seen an organization as dedicated to taking care of the horses as Hope in the Valley is. And I really enjoy working out here with them. The hay and the feed and the drought and it's just, that's probably their biggest challenge, yeah. I just think this is a great organization. They do very good. One of the nice things about the work I do with their horses is that I take a little extra time and I may open a shell up. But what's amazing about these guys here is they continue the work on while I'm not here. I mean, if I get a horse that starts standing and they work with that horse to picking up his feet every day and all that, they make my job easier coming back the next time. So I really enjoy working with the horses that come in here and they maybe had some trouble in the past and all that, and I like to spend that time with them and get to know what they need.
So we're going out to see the main pasture?
So let's go out to the main pasture. So we house about half of the herd is in residence here.
Most of our horses of late have come from owner relinquished. We have a lot of elderly folks that are struggling to take care of their horses, and they ask us to take them in. So in our mind, we have not only prevented them from ending up in the slaughter pipeline, but we've also saved them the stress of going through the auction process.
And so you'll see that we've got a run-in shed down to the west here that we use for feeding. We've got 4 stalls down there for the bigger horses that perhaps don't fit into the feed stalls here. And we also have shelter that's original to the property. And our new feed stalls, which we're just so pleased about having, because it allows us to move 16 horses in for our feed. We haven't done that yet because of rain, but it allows us to bring 16 horses in where we can do health checks on them. We can clearly see how they're interacting in the herd, put our hands on them every day, which is just, it's been a godsend for us to have these.
So how do they work? Because they're kind of really small, like you wouldn't leave them in there long term.
No, we don't. And as it happens right now, we've got enough horses in the pasture that we actually do 2 seedings for breakfast. So we'll fill the first 16. We'll feed them, we'll do our checks and so forth, we'll back them out, and then we'll bring in the next set. So we try to get our feed work done, our care tech work done. It takes us about 2.5 to 3 hours, depending on how many horses are having injuries or where we need to go with vet care and so forth. The thing that's been really helpful about these is because they are narrow, the horses have all shown us much better behavior in loading into trailers. It was an unintended gain for them to understand that it's perfectly safe to step in next to another horse, it's perfectly safe to step under cover, it's perfectly safe to step over a steel rail, and we've taught them the word step so that when they come to the back of the trailer, they do have to step down. We don't always have ramps when people come to adopt for us and so forth. So it's been an unexpected win.
Very nice. Wow. Well, I'll be interested to see how this whole system works.
Well, we'll be happy to show you.
Hopefully we can get them fed before the rain cuts loose.
We'll hope so. We'll move quickly this morning.
So we've got 27 in this main pasture.
Hello,
and they all
everybody.
want to eat, so here we go. Morning, fellas.
Hey, Bella. Hi, Rusty boy. I've got 60 of the closest friends out there in the pasture, so there's not even a question about that. Those are my best friends out there. They never talk back to me, maybe run me over occasionally, but you know. Kelly, I'm gonna go around the back side just so we can get them started.
Okay, step in. Come on, Bella. Come on, girlfriend. Oh. Step in, step in, step in. Roxy, Andre, you're in the way.
We've seen a lot recently of purchase of the big draft horses because they are bigger, they weigh more, and they get more money for the draft horse. So my last visit last month to the sale, we brought home Andre the Giant. He's a 18-hand Belgian draft horse. They're overused, they're overworked, and when they can no longer do the job, they just get rid of them.
Really only a couple of them truly need to be fed, but this is a way to socialize, keep them in a routine, and then it allows us to get hands-on and check for injuries, issues, medical concerns, etc. Medicate if we need to medicate. Aside from the fact that I don't sit still well, and now that I'm retired, I need something to do, it's the horses. I just enjoy being out here with them. And then I enjoy going home and thinking about them and trying to find ways that I can help keep the organization moving forward so we can continue to do what Andy started years ago.
This horse is getting wormed. She was farriered yesterday and she's particular about her mouth. It's an older injury. And so she's just getting her wormer dose for this particular period. Here you go, sweetheart. Eat it up. We use beet pulp as an additive for all of the horses to help with gut health, and it also helps these seniors keep some weight on. Back up. Back up. There you go, buddy. This is buteless for some joint issues. This was recommended by our chiropractor for this horse. She had a chiropractic adjustment and she thought that this, as opposed to bute, is a better solution. It's a more natural solution. So we give her a scoop of that every day. And she's doing a lot better, we think. So We're going to actually head down to the south pens. This is our main pasture. We have 5 pens to the south, and we also have one more pasture northeast for various groups of horses, but we're going to go down to the south pens because we've got some of the older horses.
They're our special keepers.
Our signature horse, Stormy, is down there.
Yep.
You'll get a chance to meet him, but they need to step in and be fed. We are mindful they get fed twice a day so we can help them maintain their weight and
Stormy's our
and
mascot,
health. Yes, he's our mascot horse. He's our story horse. So I'm going to head this away.
Careful, don't slip and slide.
Yeah, right. We order 9,000 pounds at a time.
How long does 9,000 pounds last you?
Month and a half, 2 months.
Yeah, it depends, yeah.
Depends on the time of year. And
Jackson's over there.
Jackson's over here.
The old man Jackson here, he's a sanctuary mule. He's, oh, Lovey. Turn around, sweet girl. Good girls. So Jackson will feed out in the open. So we will, that again sets us in at capacity.
You got Jackson.
I got Jackson here. I got Jackson if you want to catch one of the heavies.
Okay.
Oh, geez.
Take one.
Here we go, buddy. This is as dry as we can go today, okay? There you go, sweetheart. Here you go, Lovey. Come on, baby girl. This is our yearling.
Bobo! Oh, you're a muddy mess.
Oh, you should see this side.
Oh, seriously?
Oh.
Bo!
I know,
Big
sweetie. I taste
goofball.
like
Look
beef
at
pulp.
you.
I know.
Hi, Bo.
Oh, yeah, it's the same. This is actually, it's a senior feed, but it's a little bit more moist that we use for a horse. A couple of the horses in this pen here have got breathing issues. And so I'm going to put my head in there. And so we are really mindful. That's one of the reasons that we use so much water in the beet pulp, because we can wet the grain down so that they don't choke. And what we've discovered here in Kansas is that the dust from the grain is really bad for their breathing issues, the COPD and so forth. And this guy also is a hard keeper, so that's why he gets this a little more moist. You can see there's no dust in this whatsoever. Our bulk grain is formulated for us at one of the local co-ops. And sometimes, depending on how much molasses and soy oil they put into it, it gets a little bit dusty, just from the truck bringing it and transport and all of that. And frankly, it being in the bin. So this is a way that we can just ensure that this particular horse is getting the dry feed that he needs in a bulk amount that he can try to keep weight on him. We have those concerns with any number of them, so.
Watch out. Tank, really?
Here's Pokes.
Who, bud?
Here, Tank. There you go, big guy. Tank it in. All right, girls. Hi, Indy. Hello, Alma. That's my girl. Good girl. I know, right? Come around. Here, Kathy.
Thank you so much for having us here at your facility. You have a beautiful facility, and it was just an honor to be here and see so many years of dedication put into horse rescue.
It was a pleasure to have you. In fact, it was an honor to have you here.
Wow.
And so we enjoyed our time showing you what we do here at Hope in the Valley.
Well, you know, it was great meeting you at the workshop, but then coming here and seeing the facility and the work you're doing with your boots on the ground has been amazing. And you guys have a beautiful organization, and you should be very proud of it because you're doing great work here in Kansas.
We appreciate you spending time.
We do.
Yeah.
We have learned a lot, so thank you.
We're happy to be creating this network across the United States because we all have to work together if we're going to make a strong horse rescue family.
Right. Yes, that's exactly right.
And we're so thrilled to have you part of the family.
So can we call you Mom?
Yeah. That'd be weird.
Well, sisters. There we go.
Horse rescue sisters.
Yeah, there we go. That's it.
Yeah, for sure. And if you're passing through town,
anytime.
Give us a holler.
Give us a holler.
I wouldn't miss it if I was coming this way. I'd be like, have to come stop and see you all.
Absolutely.
This was fun. This was just a fun experience.
It was
all
really.
these ideas.
Good.
Start working on some posts.
Thanks a lot.
Yeah, this was good.
Yeah, it is.
She's going to have you very busy.
I'm going to, I am going to hear this all tomorrow.
Oh, and we can do this, and we can do this.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's awesome though.
so we're re-energized again.
No, it's
That's good to
awesome.
know.
All right, well, y'all take care.
Thank you. Thank you, Tawny.
We appreciate it.
We appreciate
We do appreciate it. We really do.
Take care and keep up your amazing work.
Thank you.
Have
Thank
a safe
you.
trip back.
Bye.
Be careful. Have a safe trip.
It's an amazing
They're
organization.
an amazing organization, and they've been going for close to 20 years, and I think that is the dedication they have, and the similar story on how they started their organization is pretty neat.
They were at auction, their founder, and she saw a horse she couldn't say no to, and that was
And then
like
this
18 years ago.
organization was created, and it's really neat. One sad thing though is, you know, she was going to auctions since the 80s, and you know, here we are all these years later, and it's the same thing. You're still seeing skinny horses at the auction. You're still seeing kill buyers buying horses and shipping, and it's got to stop. And I believe that if we can get a network of rescues across the United States, it actually can stop. And we're creating this safety net.
I was really impressed how they have so many dedicated volunteers that are out 6 and 7 days a week for hours every week. And none of them seem to be suffering from compassion fatigue, and they're all gung-ho to come out the next day and do it again. So I think that really shows the dedication of the founder and just how amazing the whole organization is.
How amazing she is, and the organizations she's created. You know, she's got like little benches and places for people to sit and hang out, and you know, I get the feeling that it's not, you know, they get the work done, but then they also sit back and enjoy talking with each other, and each one of them have something that they like doing. Like the founder of this organization has girls' night every Wednesday, regardless of what's happening. And that's where it's so important to take a time off and just take that time to breathe and enjoy life. And that's what she's been doing. And she's created an amazing organization. She's got some great people here. And it's great to have a full circle life horse shelter in Kansas where there's not a whole lot of resources.
They said they used to feel like an island up here, like they were all by themselves, and now they're part of a network, and they're really happy to be part of the network. We're really happy to have them in the Full Circle Life Horse Shelter Network, and it's just great to have one here in the middle of Kansas.
Well, and that's what this whole Full Circle of Life philosophy is this is a way to rescue where you can help the most amount of horses, but it's also creating a network of a strong family of horse rescuers across the United States, ready to step up and help horses or help each other out if you know, we need help. We know there's other organizations we can count on, and it's breaking down those barriers of organizations not working together.
100%.